Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptomancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, we're going to visit the Chaos Legion tier list for the Water Splinter. This is day 2 of our updated card tier list for Chaos Legion, and this is a card tier list based on the Gold League levels. So without further ado, let's hop into some of the details here. And here is the list. This list will be linked in the video description below should you wish to view it offline. But really, if you look at the Water Splinter, I honestly think the Water Splinter is probably the most synergistic and strongest Splinter just by itself in Chaos Legion. It is very, very good. And we'll look at here just the amazing S tier cards that we've put together here at the top row. And if you look at that, it really is a team in and of itself in that kind of top tier. You've got your tank as either the Cruel Cephalopod or the Diamond Shark, and you've got your off tank with the Flying Squid. You've got your support character in River Hellendale. You've got your healer in the Murdali Guardian, and then you've got your Deep Lurker as your sneak opportunity / melee damage or DPS. So all of those cards we're going to talk about as being S tier, but if you look at that, it really is an S tier team right out of the gate. All Chaos Legion, very strong. So let's start with the Cruel Cephalopod and talk about why I think it is an amazing S tier card. So if we look at the Cruel Cephalopod at the gold level, this card is a 3-mana tank with 2 melee attack damage, 2 speed, 6 armor, and 6 health. And for 3 mana, the combination of basically 12 health and armor to get through for your opponent, that is a very good solid tank at 3 mana. Whether it's magic damage or certainly archery or melee damage, it's going to last a decent amount of time before it goes down, and that's really all you could ask for a tank at 3 mana. Now if we look at the next S tier card, that's the Diamond Shark, and if we look at the Diamond Shark at the gold level here, that's going to be level 6. It's really good. So for 8 mana, you have 3 melee attack damage with 4 speed, 6 armor, and 10 health. It also has Trample and Enrage. So if you get past the armor and you start hitting the health, that melee attack damage is going to shoot up, the speed is going to shoot up. And remember, Kelya already provides speed and armor, so it just fits in really well synergistically with the Diamond Shark. And the Diamond Shark is really a great main tank for the Chaos Legion Kelya Water Splinter because of its strong offense, good synergy, and the Enrage. And if you couple that with the Murdali Guardian or even the Scavo Hireling with some heals and repairs behind it, it can be a very sturdy tank that not only is very sturdy but also can do a good amount of damage and also get a good amount of dodges in as well. The next card at the S tier level for the Water Splinter is the Flying Squid. Now the Flying Squid is a really strong off tank here. If you look at its stats at the gold level here, for 7 mana it is a little expensive for an off tank, but you're getting 3 melee attack damage with 5 speed and 9 health. So when you compare that to the Diamond Shark, it's pretty comparable. It's just a little bit faster and has less armor, but it also has reach, so it can attack from the second position, and it provides extra utility for the Water Splinter from a support perspective by adding the blind ability to your opponent, which increases their melee and range attacks chances on missing. So couple that already with the high speed of many of the Chaos Legion water monsters with Kalya's speed boost, it just is a really strong synergistic off tank for the water team. The next card at the S tier level for water, in my mind, is River Hellendale. And River Hellendale is more of a support card, but he works especially well with the Diamond Shark. And if we look at River Hellendale's stats at gold level here, at 7 mana, you're going to get 2 magic attack damage at 2 speed. He's a little fragile with 1 armor and 4 health, but his support abilities is where he really shines. He provides a resurrect to your team, which if your resurrect is used on the Diamond Shark, if he is your tank, or the Cruel Cephalopod, they're going to come back with 1 health, but they're going to get all of their shields back. So that's pretty strong. And then the Inspire here, adding the +1 melee attack damage to your team, which might consist of the Cruel Cephalopod, or the Diamond Shark, or the Flying Squid, or the Deep Lurker. All of those core units are going to take advantage of that Inspire. So he's a really great support character with the Resurrect, with the Inspire, can still dish out decent magic damage as well from the middle of your lineup, and also provides a Dispel on your opponent as well, just for a little extra added bonus there. The next card I want to talk about at the S tier for water is the Murdali Guardian. And the Murdali Guardian is technically a support character, but it's really kind of an ultimate support healer slash repairer for your team, because at the max level gold, you're going to get a unit that for 3 mana is going to provide a tank heal and a repair for your team, which is really, perfect from a support kind of healer role for water. She's also pretty durable as well with 5 health. So this is really, a fantastic support healer card, and it fits really well because it combines, again, the tank heal with the repair, and with Kalya having shields as a ability, it definitely, there will be units to repair in your water team. The last S tier unit for the Water Splinter is the Deep Lurker, and this card is a very strong DPS unit for the Water Splinter. At max level here for the Deep Lurker, at 6 mana, it's doing 5 melee damage with 4 speed and 6 health. If you include like an Inspire from River Hellendale and the shield and the speed from Kalya, again, great synergies there, and it becomes very, very powerful. The speed there with the opportunity can quickly eliminate targets on your opponent's side and just pretty much obliterate them with 5 melee damage. And not only that, is if somehow they are to survive, it also has a chance to poison that unit, really just adding insult to injury and really ramping up the damage against a tough enemy monster. So this is a great unit for water. If we look at the tier A list for water, there's also a number of cards here that I feel are worthy of an A tier listing. And the first I want to talk about is Igor Darkspear. So Igor Darkspear is an epic card here, and at max level for gold, you're going to get for 2 mana, 2 archery damage at 3 speed with 5 health, which is certainly very solid stats for a 2 mana monster, but really what puts Igor Darkspear into the A tier listing is his ability of stun. The stun there at a decent speed is very nice, especially at that low cost for mana of 2 mana. So Igor Darkspear, a great bargain. Stun is always welcome on any of my teams from an offensive perspective. The next card I want to talk about at the A tier is the Angelic Mandarin. And if we look at the Angelic Mandarin at the gold level, this card at 3 mana is certainly solid. It has 2 archery damage, 4 speed, and 6 health. So again, very good stats for a 3 mana character. And it has the ability of triage, which is very useful, especially when combined with the Wave Brood. Now, the Angelic Mandarin honestly was a very good unit before the Spirit Hoarder was announced, which is a neutral version of triage at a little bit higher mana cost. But still, the Angelic Mandarin is still a good bargain because it has good damage, good speed, good health at a low mana cost, and still provides triage for the water team. The next card at the A tier for water is the Wave Brood. And the Wave Brood provides water with an additional taunt other than the Kraken. And at max level for gold here, for 8 mana, you're getting 2 archery damage at 1 speed with 14 health. You're getting the taunt ability, which is the main ability for this monster, but you're also getting close range and void, so it becomes a little bit more resilient against magic attack damage, and it also can be used in an off-tank position and still be effective with its archery damage. So this is certainly a good unit for Water Splinter that does not have maybe access to a Kraken as an example. This makes a very good card to use, especially with things like the Angelic Mandarin or the Spirit Hoarder. The next A tier card for water is actually the River Nymph, and the River Nymph is a very good card for Noxious Fumes battles because it has Cleanse. But the reason why I listed her as an A tier card outside of a niche card is because in addition to her Cleanse ability, she still has decent magic damage at 2 magic damage, and she also brings with her at the gold level the Amplify ability, which can be beneficial as well to water under certain circumstances. So again, the utility here for the River Nymph with the magic damage and the Amplify makes her a reasonable card to use outside of Noxious Fume battles as well. So really the Amplify and the magic damage puts her into the A tier list for me. The last card in the A tier list for me is the Torrent Fiend. Again, the Fiends are must-have cards for any competitive player playing at the gold level, I think. So it just goes without saying, having a zero-cost card available to be used perhaps in combination with the Furious Chicken always is nice to have that at your disposal to round out your team. Now, if we look at the B tier, I've listed the Kulu Swim Hunter here at the B tier, and let's take a look at the reasons why for that. The Kulu Swim Hunter is a good card stat-wise. If you look at the stats, at 4 mana, you're getting 3 archery damage, 5 speed, and 6 health. So stat-wise for 4 mana, that's very strong. The challenge here is you don't have any abilities with the Kulu Swim Hunter, so you're just getting pure stats. So it's best used in a scenario like Back to Basics. But the reason why I listed the Kulu Swim Hunter here, even with these great stats, is because really I don't find myself using the archery damage that much in a Chaos Legion water team necessarily. There's just other synergies and other combinations that I would rather play rather than using and getting the 3 archery damage. That being said, if we look at the A tier list and the B tier list, the one thing that we do see in common with many of these Chaos Legion water cards is archery damage. Look at Igor Darkspear, the Angelic Mandarin, the Wave Brood, and the Kulu Swim Hunter, all archery based and all very good archery units stat wise. And this, there's also a good blog, if you haven't seen it, on Splinter Talk that Ascension has just published recently. And he speculates on the legendary water summoner. I definitely recommend you check out that blog. But if we do have a legendary water summoner come out for Chaos Legion here as an airdrop reward card that focuses on ranged attack buffs, things like close range, shatter, +1, archery damage as an example. If something like that comes to the game, cards like the Kulu Swim Hunter, Igor Darkspear, Wave Brood, and Angelic Mandarin will certainly increase in utility and value with such a summoner if that comes into play. So just be aware of that. But right now, with Kelya being the primary Chaos Legion water summoner, this is where I've classified the S, A, and B tier units. Now I want to go next to the D tier, the niche tier, and talk a little bit about Narissa Tridon. And Narissa Tridon is a very good card here, but the reason why I listed her as a niche unit, similar to the reason why I listed the Kulu Swim Hunter as a B tier, is with Kelya, it's just not necessarily a great synergistic fit. The stats for Narissa are very strong, just base stats. Again, great for a back to basics play. At 9 mana, you're getting 4 magic damage at 3 speed with 11 health. So very strong stats. But the reason I say Narissa Tridon is more of a niche play is because she really shines under an Ulrich water-based magic team. And that's where she's really going to get the most use and most value in my mind. So here, she's definitely a good card, but I really more classified her as a niche unit because I would really pretty much use her all the time under an Ulrich-led water team, but with a Kelya team, I find myself rarely using her. And for our last Chaos Legion card from the core set is the Hardy Stonefish. And here, wow, I hate to say it, but this card is trash. Not only does the card art look hideous, in my opinion, but the card is just not good. At 1 mana, it's 2 melee attack damage, 2 speed, 1 shield, and 2 health. It's just not good. It doesn't have any abilities that make it useful in any specific situations. It's just kind of there. It's, I guess, the Rodney Dangerfield of Splinterlands cards. I really think this is probably one of the worst cards in Chaos Legion, if not the worst. And I've rated it as such in my tier listing. The one other card I want to talk about as it pertains to water is Bakjira, the legendary airdrop. And this card at the gold level is for 6 mana, 2 speed, 13 health. And this card is really a perfect off tank, especially when there's potential for a lot of snipe in your opponent's team. It has Void, it has great support abilities with slow and strengthen, and it also has a self-heal. As such, I rate Bakjira as an S tier amazing card. It's not in the tier listing just because I didn't have a way to get that into the tier listing, but if it was available, it would definitely be in the S tier for water. This is a great card, and I think it's going to continue to be a staple for water teams moving forward. It's just a great value at 6 mana. So there you have it. That is my summary of the card tier list for the Water Splinter under Chaos Legion at the gold level. I really feel that when they put the water team together under Kelya, they really put together some great cards that have great synergy. And I think water at the gold level is very, very strong. as a team just within the Chaos Legion rule set. So I hope this has been beneficial for you. If it has, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more timely content around Splinterlands. Stay tuned for our next video tomorrow on our tier list series. And if you have any comments of changes that you would recommend to the tier list or anything that you might disagree with, list it in the comments below. Let's have a conversation and let's talk about the meta and enjoy this wonderful game of Splinterlands. Until next time, keep stacking those stats.